All right, it is time for the video that I had no idea that I was going to do. So I was streaming SMT5 on the channel and on Twitch, and I was having such a fun time that I was like, you know what would be fun? Doing a first impressions video. So here is the SMT5 Vengeance first impressions after 25 to 28 hours from me. So I never beat the original Shin Megami Tensei 5, so I'm doing the creation route. So if you're looking for Vengeance route stuff, click off the video, or if you just want to hear about my thoughts on the game, I mean, you're in the right place. So with that out of the way, let's hop into it. All right, so the first thing that's probably going to stand out to all of us who played the game, or just anybody who's watching the footage right now, is that the game looks so much better. And, not to say anything bad about the Switch is a fantastic console for its own reason. The Switch did come out a very long time ago, and as a result, it forced games to not look the best, to say the least. So putting this game on a PS5 to a modern day Xbox or even a PC at 4K 60, 1440p, 144 frames per second, the game looks so good. I'm constantly in awe when I just run around the environments, when I see character models, when I see special Nahabino exclusive skills, to all of this other stuff. Like, it just looks really good. And if we get an FOV slider, it would be, like chef's kiss. So yeah, that's great. The other really cool thing about this game is it's cool just to finally be on a home system again, like on a mainline console. So I have played Strange Journey on the DS and the 3DS. I have played through a little bit of Devil Summoner. I've played through SMT4. And while Cosmic Kaneko or Masayuki Doi's respectively art looks really good on those games, there really is nothing like seeing the scope of how big certain demons are to how tiny certain demons are. Like, it's just a really cool experience to finally see all of these demons in 3D for the first time, or some of these demons in 3D for the first time. So just it's really cool, and it adds so much to the incredible world that SMT5 has going with it, which also is really enhanced by Ryoto Kazuka's new music, which I say new, I haven't heard all of the soundtrack, quite honestly, because like I said, I haven't played the original SMT5, but I saw some article about him adding like 80 something new songs in total, and like that's insane. So I'm assuming that for longtime fans or people who have played the original, you're probably playing this game and you're like, oh my god, the music's great. So yeah, music is awesome in this game. Ryoto Kazuka, outstanding job with the atmospheric music as well as the overall battle theme. So the other part of the game that I think is pretty interesting as well is the story. So I know that the story of SMT5 has been pretty scrutinized, to say the least. It seems like everybody at least at some point has had an opinion on the game. So I haven't beaten it yet, but from 25 to 28 hours in, I'm enjoying certain characters. I mean, I'm letting the story still like set itself up, and I'm very curious where Ichiro, Yuzuru, and Aogami just end up getting developed. I really like SMT's take on a character, like, not to be this guy, we're not even gonna make the comparison, but Aogami is very similar to another character in another game, and it's cool seeing this character archetype in a world with more ground shaking ramifications as SMT. So yeah, just enjoying where it's going, enjoying the backdrop. But I do have a slight problem with the backdrop that we'll get to in a second. But before we get into that, let's hop into some gameplay right quick. So the gameplay of SMT5 is actually it's pretty good. SMT5 is pretty much just press turn combat without smirk, which makes it a million times better. There's a lot of exclusive skills as well that demons and the Nahabino have, and they look really cool. Seeing the camera pan, seeing the way it moves, as well as just how beautiful the effects are with all the particles. Like, oh my god, it looks incredible. And I don't know if you guys, I mean, there's probably a video of like all Nahabino skills, but if you get a chance, just go through all of those, because obviously it's an RPG. We're not going to be using every move, so there's going to be a lot of skills that we don't see. But oh my god, there is so much effort on everything, just all across the board. So yeah, those are really well done, and the combat to me so far is really good. Really enjoying it, really enjoying the Magatsuhi gauge, as well as all the smaller changes. So there's a lot of changes that come with the overall combat, but like, I'm going to need a longer video to cover all those. So yeah, like, just first impressions, really good job. I mean, it's a very solid combat system that they developed back in 2003. So it's one of those, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and that's fine. Something else that's really cool to see back is the return of the App Store through SMT5's Apotheosis. If you haven't played SMT4, SMT4 pretty much introduced something called the App System, and it changes pretty much a lot of your character. And some of the changes can be how many demons can you hold, to whether or not you get all your health back when you level up, to just a whole bunch of other things that are really cool. So seeing that system back in SMT5 is super cool. The other thing that I really enjoyed about SMT5, and the biggest thing that really just blows my mind, is the World of Shadows in this game makes going back to other games probably a little bit painful, or we just have to rely on like fusion calculators. The reason I say that is because if you look at the 4 options on screen, you have Dyad Fusion, Dyad Compendium Fusion, Reverse Fusion, and Reverse Compendium Fusion. Dyad Fusion is traditional fusion, what happens when you fuse 2 demons. Dyad Compendium Fusion is what happens when you take a demon and you show all the possibilities of that one demon that you have with all the demons in your compendium. You also have Reverse Fusions, which are just every possible fusion that you can create with every demon that's on hand right now. And then Reverse Compendium Fusion, which is every demon that you can make, period. It's really, really cool. And like I said, going back to other games now is going to be kind of tough, right? You're playing the game, you're like, oh man, I want to create this special demon. Let's be for real for a second. No one's just creating every demon, right? Eventually somebody's just going to look up, oh, how do I create this to create Atlas or whatnot? So yeah, it's really cool how Atlas finally puts this into the game, and I really, really, really like it. The other thing that's going to throw players off too is just the fact that this game is now open world. To me, it's more open level design because like the world isn't really connected. They're just very long like paths that you can go down and explore. And they're filled with Magatsu rails. Magatsu rails are pretty cool because they show you how big these open levels actually are. And it's kind of fun to just, ride the rails and just see the world as you pass by without having to just fast travel everywhere. Like I really, really like that. So the open level design is pretty cool, and it's a pretty big departure from SMT4, which just had some smaller dungeons and just, an overall explorable world. So yeah, I'm a pretty big fan of them. We'll see how long it stands and how much new they can introduce, because if they don't do a lot of new stuff with the open levels, then it might start to drag and like overstay its welcome. The other thing that I'm a little bit torn on are the side quests. So I like side quests in SMT4. I think they're very great for building out the world, but in this game they fit, but they also kind of struggle to exist like functionally. And what I mean by that is that these side quests are your standard run-of-the-mill open world side quests, right? So these are go here, kill this, go here, pick this up, go here and do this. It's not really anything interesting, and it doesn't really add to the world. But I struggle to say that because, there's kind of this war happening between Lucifer and Bethel, and demons are kind of just fucking about like where they are. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's not like, other games where demons that had side quests are there for a certain reason. They're just, they're just minding their own business. So yeah, not entirely sure how I feel about that. And the other thing that I'm kind of mixed on is Demon Haunt. Demon Haunts are very strange because like anybody that's played a lot of Megaten, whether it's like SMT4, 3, 2, 1, maybe even like Persona, there's comes to a point where like you start to view your demons or your personas as tools and equipment, right? And now suddenly you're talking to them and you're learning more about them, and it's really cool. But at the same time, it's like, I hate to be this guy, but you're going to disappear for the greater good, and I want to beat the game. So it's really strange having this like weird juxtaposition of, yeah, you're going to be fusing them and giving them away, but at the same time they're also people, and it's like, should I feel bad about creating and fusing? I personally don't, of course, because at the end of the day they are a means to an end, and it's kind of strange. Something I do like about it though is the music is incredible here. It's very cozy, very calm. Love the atmosphere that comes with it. And Aogami giving you 3 skill points is kind of crazy. Not entirely sure how that's going to go, and again, in the long run we'll see how that plans out. But I mean, you guys can see my skill point right here. I think I have like 80 something in magic, and that's kind of crazy because I just entered like the 3rd zone. So like I said, we'll see how it plays out. Not entirely sure, but yeah, that's really it for my first impressions. Largely positive. I'm a little worried about open level design. We'll see how that plays out in the long run. We'll see if Atlas introduces enough new things to keep me intrigued, because if it just, devolves into go here, find this Mimon, go here, open up this thing, go here, fight this abscess to unlock more skills for Apotheosis, then it might start to overstay its welcome after a while. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Very curious about how this game is. And I know I might sound a little mixed, but I really am having a good time playing through the game. It's not like, you know, a job. Like, I am having fun with the game. So yeah, I'll keep you guys posted whenever I get to the end of the game. Maybe I'll make a tweet, or maybe I'll make a community post. And that's about all that I have. So the last thing that I wanted to bring up was a brief outro. So I think, like, I'll just be very honest. Don't expect like a long 30 to an hour long video from me about SMT5 until I beat both routes, as well as have like a couple of weeks to really just like sit here and think about it. Because, you know, you get a Nocturne video out of me, or like an MGS2 video, or a Resident Evil video after I beat the game and I really understand the design, what they're going for, and I let the story just, you know, really seep in. Because, you know, last thing you want to do is just rush through games and not have any fun. So yeah, don't expect that SMT5 video anytime soon. But hopefully you guys enjoy the first impressions, and I'm very curious as to your guys' first impressions as well. Are you enjoying the game? People that played the original, are you enjoying all the new changes? Have they fixed some of your problems? You know, who are some of your favorite early game demons? What are some tips you have for people that are having a hard time? And last thing, please try not to spoil anything. I know that, you know, Atlas has their like streaming guidelines up, but everybody only gets one playthrough of these games, and we get one of them, every 10 years. So, you know, just be mindful, be cool, and let's have a good time. But with that out of the way, that's all I have. Be sure to subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Be sure to leave a like, and I will catch you guys next time.